cool. Hey there, welcome. Got 2 dog meats going. This one's a synth version.
Blue, we're not alone here.
That's how it goes in IG. Gotta get my power armor. That's actually my main objective right now. I left it back at Diamond City. And I also need to find a biometric scanner so that I can create fusion cores with the Atomic Scavenger mod. I did have a biometric scanner. In fact, I went to a hospital facility in the south just for that. But I must have crafted something from there and my trip up back to Sanctuary, because I don't have it in my inventory anymore. So that was pretty stupid of me. Gotta drink beer in order to deal with the heavy load. The backpack ain't enough. Gonna try a different approach this time. Concord's far too dangerous. I've got the Ghoul Kill Box mod going for PS4. Adds 200 ghouls to Concord, so that's not something I'm gonna be conquering. That's for sure. Not anytime soon, anyway. I like that mod though because it forces you to take a different route in the beginning of the game. You can't simply just rescue Preston and go through the Minutemen linear storyline like usual. You have to try new strategies and get good before you can take Concord on. This guy's not loading properly. I suspect that's the new Raiders Travel, or Raiders Travels, whatever mod it is that Govno Writer just uploaded. I've got that on to try it out, and it seems to be preserving some of the effects of Dead Now Live. Or it's possible that it conflicted my game because I had that loaded in previously. School's up ahead too. Normally I could just sprint through this pretty easily, but I don't want to have Piper go down. Just carrying some important supplies to make fusion cores once we can make the fusion core maker. That's the first stage. You need 3 fusion cores, a biometric scanner, and a stealth boy. And all 3 of those components can be pretty challenging to acquire fast at the beginning of the game.
End of the line!
Oh shit.
Just chill out, asshole.
I'm out! You killed him! No way is this worth it!
Just chill out, asshole.
Oh no. Was hoping to get a save in before I got rushed again like this. Maybe I can get rid of them if I head to Abernathy. Pretty sure this character rescued them. Hope I'm not wrong. Rocket, I don't know if that's a good sign. Piper's still not 100 clicks away. At 100 clicks is when your companion will leave. Oh shit, what are these gunners? Oh, they might be raiders. Yeah. Might just be able to live through this. Beer just wore off. I wish alcohol lasted longer, man. It's not affected by chemist. It's so lame. Maybe that would be a good idea to add to IG. Just to make it that instead of the alcohol-related perk making you invulnerable to addiction, it just prolongs the effects, maybe. So I think it's silly that it completely invalidates the possibility of becoming addicted. It'd be a lot better if it just decreased the chances similar to the chem-resistant one. Oh no. I shouldn't have left that house. I should have gone to the roof, maybe. You're slightly faster in third person, at least with my current move speed, so sometimes I switch to that for a little extra boost. Oh, fuck. He's close. Could be a she, I don't know. I don't know if ghouls even have parts after everything happens. It is 2018 after all. They got me going in circles. This ain't good. So close to death, too. Seems to always be the case when you're fighting ghouls. I'm not a big fan of that, personally. Kind of wish that they could swarm you in a similar way to how they do with power armor, but then power armor would be way too overpowered. So, I don't really know the best way to balance that. Gotta have some grenades. Okay, good, I do. I've got some bullshit ones with the pumpkin stuff. I'm not gonna be using that, though. Just if I can avoid it. quite the commitment trying to get Piper back up. See if I got a med pack. No, I don't. Ooh, I got nothing to heal besides... No, that version of Nuka-Cola doesn't heal you. I've got nothing to heal. And... Oh, I got 2 perks, though. Well, okay. Oh, I don't even have enough for Reborn Savior. Could add some endurance, though. Time to test how effective more endurance is. That's not bad. That gave me a good chunk, actually. Still not gonna matter against ghouls. They'll fuck me up in 2 seconds. And the thing is, like, they have combos. They attack you multiple times, usually, I would say. So I don't see the point in making the first impact kill you. They could easily reduce the damage, and it would still kill you 9 times out of 10, but it would give you a little bit more breathing room, without them being quite so difficult. I do want them to be hard. I like their HP. You have to get headshots, or you have to, like, use grenades or something like that. And that's a great change. I like the idea that every individual ghoul is a threat. I just wish they didn't kill you in 1 hit. It basically forces you to use power armor if you run a game like mine with this many zombies. Oh shit. Fuck. That's what I'm talking about. They don't last long enough. You know, I'd much rather they not even have effects if they're gonna do this little. That way I wouldn't rely on alcohol all the time. But, oh, that was a botched run. As soon as Piper went down, I probably was just prolonging it. I don't know the best route. I kind of got lucky. I came up through Lexington, but it was still nighttime, you know, so I was able to hide. I was able to sneak. Now it's so bright outside, it's actually more dangerous. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. If it is, can you just maybe give a comment?
Don't do anything stupid.
Hey,
It's like large portions of the world didn't load properly. I actually forgot that I made a save here. That's great.
still in one piece.
Piper only lives through that because I have her so heavily armored.
Hey.
Like to the point that I'm actually using overpowered armor. She's currently wearing... I guess I need to switch her to something else. Alright, she's currently wearing, what is it? The Metal Man armor. 6,000 defense. And she still goes down. That's what I'm talking about. If ghouls can get through that easily, that's kind of fucked. Oh shit, I didn't mean to take it. I always do that. This game is so glitched. Whatever. She can wear the Morgan outfit. Even though I need to get rid of weight, not take more on. The only reason I died back there was because I ran out of alcohol. I do have 2 perk points I can spend because I didn't save after spending those. So maybe I could give myself a little more carry weight. Oh yeah, so low on strength on this character. Could definitely use that carry weight. Then I can at least craft some of the stuff from UCO as well. That's the only reason I usually go through strength on a lot of characters. I try to go for the minimum, but I also want to be able to craft like the backpack and stuff. But I have a CC backpack now, so there's not really a need for that anymore. I was worried that the CC backpack wasn't going to work because Immersive Gameplay had its level lists and loot lists and all that kind of stuff. And at first they weren't spawning in the lists of the vendors, so I was definitely worried that that was a waste of a purchase. But no, every single vendor I come across has one in the apparel section, so that's a great mod actually for Creation Club. That's one that I will endorse. Normally I'm not big on that kind of shit, especially with what's been happening with the Tunnel Snakes one. It's apparently breaking people's new games. Like they'll start the game and they can't talk to Codsworth, or at least he doesn't give you the holotape, so you can't progress the quest. You can't talk to Preston after a certain point. He won't give you the key to open up the door in the museum so you can get the power armor. So it definitely just wrecks new games. And the whole point of Creation Club was to, you know, go through the quality assurance, go through the testing and all that. But it seems Bethesda's not exactly hitting the nail on the head. You might notice my game looks a little strange, I believe. Certain things weren't loading. Sometimes it seems to do that, like rocks and things of that nature. It might have patched itself out now. Kind of does it as you walk sometimes. There'll be other times I'll load my game and entire like walls and buildings are just missing or invisible. Like Abernathy could become nothing. I don't think actually it applies to settlements because they're like made of objects, if you get what I mean. But anything that Bethesda made that you can't interact with, sometimes they'll just disappear. Got so lucky there, wow. I'm not a good shot, but I also refuse to use VATS. And occasionally I'll use slowdown. Occasionally I'll use VATS during this testing, I'll admit. But once I start a real playthrough, it's going to be real time as often as I can. I'll even be using the app for phones through Pip-Boy. That way, when I'm saving, when I'm changing gear, all that kind of stuff, it'll be real time. Whoa. Okay. We're getting closer, slowly. I'm really trying to test out Atomic Scavenger. That's a mod that I requested that a user named OIC2TP made. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce the name. But it's a great mod if you feel that the fusion cores drain too quickly. Especially with the hardcore patch for IG, I've noticed it drains very fast. You really can't sprint at all. If you do, you're going to be wasting your fusion core in minutes. So instead of changing the drain, Atomic Scavenger tries to be more compatible with various mods by simply allowing you to craft fusion cores with different recipes. And so far they're all tied to nuclear physicists. So with every perk of nuclear physicist, it requires less materials to make the fusion core, as if you understand how to preserve or be less wasteful with your nuclear material. Really great mod so far from the testing I've been doing. It definitely complements playthroughs that prefer power armor without feeling too overpowered, I feel. Wow, that's a bad place to save, fuck. That's what sucks about survival mode. You have to kind of be really selective with your saves and try to spread them out, but when you spread yourself out that sparsely, you end up kind of resembling the NCR and not being very effective at what you're doing. Such as trying to find a safe place, you know. You're more concerned with making the save than you are with verifying that you're safe. Especially with how often my game crashes, you know, I kind of need it. Right now, this is good for Bleak. This is like a regular shower. Sometimes you got snow and max rain going at the same time with fog and whiteout conditions. It can get pretty crazy. And this is a good area too. You know, if you're downtown DC, it's a completely different story. I might use slowdown just to get past these ghouls. It is just a test after all. Like I said, I'm not good. I try to get good. If anything that I do, I don't like to take the easy way out. I used to try to play Fallout as if it was actually me, and, you know, try to build my character and play it in a way where I'm not aware of what'll happen in a quest and little things like that, you know. Actually do the role play and do it properly. So I will be adhering to all this sort of artificial rules and handicaps during a proper playthrough.
Yeah!
I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I've been waiting to do it for months. I don't know why I was swaying so much there. That might be the first person animation tweak. Sometimes it fucks with your aiming really bad. There we go. Okay, Jet's useful. I prefer to use Jet over Bubblegum, just that way there's a chance of me getting addicted to it. It's a little less overpowered. Normally I don't use any drugs really at all, besides the normal like medical related ones, the good drugs, you know. But I'll be trying to use them more for the proper survival run. Just as a way to change things up. Normally I give 4 of the perks that you get with IG at the beginning right to Chemist, just to try to make the drugs more realistic so they're not wearing off so quickly. It's partially why Jet's lasting so long. Jet's one that I might not use very often, or I'll try to use it outside of combat, almost to roleplay it as you would in real life with Fallout, where it's something that reliefs. So if that's the case, they all suck and they need to get good. Nice aim. Oh, well, okay. They did steal my kill. I gotta get them that. This is where I keep thinking it's farmers. I don't want to accidentally shoot them. So I finally got the ghouls dead. Why is she running? What is it? Probably just another down ghoul. I just really don't want to risk myself by going out alone, you know what I mean? Thankfully, that's her base gun, so she's not wasting all my ammo. I hate that. Sometimes I'll find, I don't know if it's because of all the mods that I use for extra spawns, maybe the game just can't handle it, but sometimes spawns just disappear right in front of me as I'm looting them. I suspect it might be affiliated with one of Fulgore's mods, because I noticed that his World is Dying Extreme Hardcore Edition, or whatever it is, makes that a feature, that the bodies will disappear. I'm not using that. I have in the past, I think, so it could be a conflict, but it could also be from like Fulgore's settings, or some of his other mods that I've tried over time. I'm hoping to get my list and game and all that cleaned up before the proper playthrough, and I will be backing up my save. I've never done that before, but I don't want to be dealing with all the glitches. I have the save bug on PS4, for instance, which is really annoying, and if it does happen at any point during a stream, I'll have to cancel the stream because it kicks me out, and when you get kicked out of the app, it kills the broadcast as well. Not sure what the fuck's going on here. That's a ghoul. Okay. I'd say good old PS4, but I'm pretty sure stuff like this happens on every platform. So good old Bethesda. If you notice that my LOD, or like in terms of things loading in front of me, is weird, or kind of like ancient to 2002 PS2 type of thing. That's because I have a mod to reduce the distance of LOD just to increase FPS. You know, I'll take slight reduction in immersion to avoid crashes any day. It's so prevalent for me.
What's that noise?
Oh, of course, right when I save. Fuck, I made a comment on the IG forum about this. But I always save it in opportune moments. Oh.
Look at all that blood.
He was coming for me too. Or she. It's 2018. See, now I gotta save again because of that. Sucks. At least I'm in a safe spot. Getting to DC won't be so bad from here. There's some bad spots. The bridge leading to Sunshine Tidings comes to mind. That place is no fun. Gorski Cabin, not the best. I may have cleared it out. That's the thing, I'm not sure which routes I've made for myself, right? So I gotta kind of scout it out. Hopefully I cleared it out. If I really just want to get to DC, if I was alone, I'd just sprint there, but there's no way in hell Piper's gonna follow orders to a T. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. That's like uncomfortably small, you know what I mean? Or it's like a fetus, almost. No, I don't like that shit. Although, if you can make them spaz out like this, that'd be a cool mod. You know, you get like fucking scary spider deer. That'd be a cool mod. Probably can't happen on PS4 though. If it wasn't for me buying the DLCs and the one thing from Creation Club, I would probably switch to PC. But I almost feel invested in PS4's content. Like Bleak, I don't think is possible on the other consoles. I could be wrong. Well, I'm sure it's possible, but I don't think it's been uploaded. I know there's probably far better alternatives though. I just feel sort of, you know, invested in it, I guess. I want to see PS4 mods become more than the limitations that were placed on them, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe that's a pipe dream. I don't know, there's been some really impressive things to come out. I never thought something like Bleak would be possible. But here we are, you know. Comes at the cost of a lot of frame loss and all that. But for a nuclear winter, it's worth it for me. That's all I've ever wanted out of Fallout, is a nuclear winter. I'm gonna stream for a bit longer, not too long. Might do some dishes, some shit, you know. Don't want to spend all my day gaming. I mean, I do, but I probably shouldn't. One of those mind over matter sort of things. The feral beast within wants to play more games. It wants to drink beer. It wants to do all those things. So disgusting.
Mayor McDonough chased all the ghouls.
I don't mean to be like advocating eugenic programs for cows, but you know, they're a little fucked up. I guess I don't need the flashlight. That's probably doing more harm than good. Not actually sure who's watching, but if you want, check out the mod request section on Bethesda.net. In case you want to contribute any ideas or anything. I made a mod request to turn the mining helmet invisible, but to keep the actual lamp fixture. That way you could wear it with any helmet and have that little lamp thing. That way you don't have to use the Pip-Boy light. You can go through the whole game with the mining helmet. Don't know if it's possible, but I think it's a cool idea that could maybe use more attention. It's also Morning Red. I've put a lot of effort into thinking through that idea, and nowhere near as much effort as would be required to make it, of course, but Morning Red I think would be really cool. It would change a lot of enemies to be glowing variants when they're spawned through level lists, as well as increase the radius of the rad field from the glow. That way you would take radiation damage from further away in their presence. It's meant to make the creatures and all that be something that you really consider approaching. You know, do you go and attack ghouls in a house? A, it's a waste of ammo. B, now you're going to be taking radiation damage. So it's something that you think about. You don't necessarily jump right into. I think that could be a really cool mod. It's not really getting much attention. Hopefully it gets made, you know, crossing my fingers, but I know the reality of the situation. I would be very lucky. And I have gotten very lucky with OIC 2TP. They're the only ones who have brought my request to life. Very lucky. A lot of people probably make requests that never see the light of day. So I should probably count my blessings. Okay, this is going pretty well. I was getting worried for a bit there, as long as Piper can get over here without drawing too much attention. Sometimes the dog is something I need to worry about. He kind of does his own thing, but sometimes he will bring a bunch of enemies. Oh shit, she's noticed.
Over there. Here. Over here.
That's a whistle set that I'm using. You can craft them in the chem bench. There's one for each of the different companions, and it allows you to command them right from the weapon wheel, or weapon cross, whatever you want to call it.
Get into position.
Very useful for avoiding their tendency to attack things that they shouldn't.
What else you need?
I'm gonna save here, even though I know it's a bad time to save, but it's probably a better time than not saving. This ghoul probably sees Piper, maybe sees me. Okay, maybe it sees a sentry box. I did hear one. Actually, the sentry bot is what got me up here. There was a very kind sentry bot that spawned. I'm not sure from what mod. Could have been the roving war packs. But, that sentry bot is what allowed me to get here. What the fuck? Holy shit.
Threat analysis green. Neutralization operation complete.
I don't know if this will kill me if I touch it. No? Oh yeah, because you can like basically walk right through them. I only learned that from Catcher near Diamond City because the arrows made him so big. That's worthy of a save. Gotta love the glitches. Wonder if I talk to it, if it'll fix it.
Do not interfere with security armor weapons. 3.
Oh shit, what? Oh. Piper doesn't even care. See, this is something that maybe IG can change. She hasn't even fucking noticed it. I use Search and Destroy, which I didn't really notice this in the description, but it says that it only affects enemies. I don't think it affects people like Piper, so enemies can find you from further away. They've got more visibility. But someone like Piper, you know, she's usually commenting on a ghoul when it's already attacked. That's something that IG definitely needs, or there needs to be a mod, I guess, that will allow them to be more competent. There are some, but they interfere with the visual changes, I've noticed. So as you can see, Piper looks completely different. I guess I should have mentioned that at some point. That's a mod by Sammy XX, I think his name is. I know he has X's in the name. He hasn't logged in ages, and I've asked him about various issues I was having with his mod, because this is actually from the Overhauled DLC, Companion Overhauled DLC, and yet the only one that works is Piper. I was using the Piper solo mod for a while there, but I opted to use the complete one just to see if maybe over time he would update it. That way it would be in my list and I would actually see that he updated it. But there hasn't been any update, and the only one that it affects is Piper, so I use a separate mod for Curie, I use a separate mod for Kate. Sorry, it does affect Kate, but I don't want it to affect Kate because he gets rid of her hair basically and makes her kind of butch looking. And with a game that only has 3 female options for companion love interests, the last thing I want to do is take away any of their femininity. It seems a little redundant to me. That's just a personal gripe. It does fit her character, I'll say. If you're more just purely into lore, that's actually a great change to Kate. It definitely fits her character. I just like cutest Kate or more, or Kate is cuter more. That's not my words here, because I'm thinking about ghouls. It is hard to comment while playing, I've noticed. You know, I'm kind of scatterbrained to begin with, so I lose my train of thought and I ramble and all that and trail off constantly, so having to play at the same time definitely makes it more difficult. During my real playthrough, I'm considering potentially doing it as like a full-on roleplay, so avoiding commenting on bugs and things like that and trying to do it all in character. I don't know if that would be interesting, especially because it's going to be a female character, and I don't want to have that like awkward Dungeons and Dragons table talk where like some fucking dude with a voice like mine is pretending to be a chick, you know. That'd be weird. But for little things, I think it could be interesting to try to keep it in character.
Big mistake. Let's do this!
And so, because of the fact that I'll be taking it more seriously, I probably won't be commenting anywhere near as much. Maybe some people would like that. I have no clue. I am trying to talk as if there's multiple people watching, even though I know it's just one. That's because I'm probably not going to delete this screen. Normally I have in the past, but I'll probably keep this one up. So in case anyone watches it in the future. Bad time to save. I've been doing a lot of that. I need to check my surroundings. God, I miss quick saves. Bethesda needs a couple slaps from ghouls with IG damage across the back of the head, I think, for making survival the way that they did. It's atrocious, man. I purely see it as just an attempt to distance themselves from the hardcore mode that Obsidian made. That's really what I think is going on.
Here.
They've got some kind of like hate on for Obsidian because they know that Obsidian did much better when it came to like role playing and all that. I like Bethesda's worlds more, I'll give them that. Fallout 3's world as well as Fallout 4's world I think are much better than New Vegas. New Vegas had a real problem in terms of once you made it to Vegas, you could follow that Vegas road, that huge circle, to complete almost every single quest in the game at that point. At least that was my experience. Maybe with mods it would have been different. And I've been playing with mods for so long for the Commonwealth that I gotta admit I don't recall exactly if there's similar routes that are really safe, similar to New Vegas. There might be. All I know is with ghouls of the Commonwealth, there's definitely no safe spots. You have to take your time. You have to clear out areas and then monitor it, go back to it, clear it out again if you want to be going on your own trade routes, essentially. And I'll be trying to do that. I'm going to try to utilize some of the extra carry weight to act as my own caravan, in a sense. So I'll be carrying like large shipments of water and shit like that while trying to make sure that my core items are realistic. So like 1 or 2 rifles at most, a pistol. So like a main weapon, a sidearm, some basic medical supplies, and the rest is going to be for trying to pick up like junk and transport goods. And Atomic Scavenger, actually, I purposely wanted that to try to alleviate the carry weight a little bit. So the Fusion Core Maker, and this was OIC2TP's idea, it adds 40 carry weight when you have it on you. So just having that kind of balances it. And then on top of it, it doesn't change the weight of the Fusion Cores. So each one of those is another 4 with IG. So I'm hoping all those little personal handicaps and restrictions plus Atomic Scavenger will go a long way to make the game more realistic during my playthrough of it. Of course, that probably means a lot of dying. I wish that immersive gameplay had more HP and kind of like a bleeding system. That way you weren't killed every time. You know, you die so quick, you can't survive even 2 whacks from a ghoul. I mean, maybe you could with max HP, max armor, but personally I don't even like wearing armor. And I haven't upgraded my armor too, I guess I should mention that. So maybe I'm coming from a silly vantage where I'm not seeing all the variables. Okay, there's gotta be a way to just stay quiet and avoid these guys. Maybe if I just don't move at all, but I feel like they're still gonna come here. I was using dogs or Brahmin or dogs or whatever it is. The one that turns the caravan Brahmins into dogs. I might get that again, even though it's such a small mod, which is why I got rid of it. With the 100 mod list, I can't really afford mods like that. But it would help avoid the ghouls finding the Brahmin. You know, I'm pretty sure that's what's causing this, is that there's a Brahmin that's spawning across the street. Wow. I get a headshot. There's a Brahmin that spawns across the street, and I guarantee you that's what's bringing them all here. Man, if these guys could just get out of the way, you know, I really don't want to headshot them. I tend to do that a lot. Piper's gonna go down if she's out there. I guarantee it. They need to get out of the way for me to even really be able to shoot. Fuck, like look at my HP. I have to see when I inevitably die here if I had full HP. I was thinking I was at least pretty close to full. I don't have a lot of rads, you know. You add some rads on top of this and that's going to be crazy. And now Ares is talking about adding additional rads if you take life giver on hardcore mode, like, I'm really against that idea. I guess it wouldn't matter that much with the mods that I use, because I can get over 1,000 rad resist really easily, hence why Morning Red is an idea, to try to up the radiation chances on everything just so you get more. So I guess taking more rads wouldn't really matter as long as it's not affecting, like, when you eat rads. If it's just affecting incoming rad damage, I guess that's not too bad of a change. I just really don't think Life Giver's that broken. I mean, yeah, like, look at my HP. It's almost entirely full. So I've got 187 HP. I could level up again. You know, I could give myself some endurance. But it's kind of crazy. I could have sworn I had 2 perks to level up, didn't I? Oh, I put one in strength, that's right. Alright, so we'll put this one in endurance. See if that makes much of a difference. Probably not, though. This was a back door. I don't think I can fit through the window.
I'll kill all you chem pushers.
The best thing I can do probably is pop a jet. And hope that these fuckers get out of the way so I don't shoot them. God damn. See, your aiming gets thrown off too by the first person animation tweaks. You gotta kind of stop your aim for a second and go back in, or it does this hovering movement similar to when you're just walking around. That, and there is another downside to the mod as well, is the fact that if you're against something, when you're like this, you can't aim. I'm trying to aim right now and I can't. So, those are 2 things people should be aware of if they get first to walk around like this. You know, why isn't this a core feature in the game? Is Bethesda just, I don't want to say lazy, but I mean, come on, you know, you add in all these animations, you add in third-person, you know, a good third-person shooting for the most part, as well as a cover system. You know, I'm trying to do it right now, and I fucking can't because of first-person immersive, or first-person animation tweaks, but, you know, they added in this cover system, and you can't even use it in third-person. It's kind of ridiculous, yet NPCs can use it. You know, you see them doing it all the time. So, it's one of those things. It's pretty lame. And for what I hear, even on PC and Xbox, whatever equivalent that they have, if Xbox even does, the equivalent on PC anyway, apparently isn't very good. You know, there is a mod to try to make it cover-based, and it comes with a bunch of issues from what I hear. So, that's an example of something that even the modding community doesn't seem to be able to fix. It would have been nice if Bethesda had implemented it. And I mean, especially with the wait time, you know, like they announced Fallout 4 so late because they wanted it to come out early, but if they had just, you know, if they had just spent more time on the game and kind of had a normal release schedule where they hype it up for a while, then they would have had more time to add in little features like that. It seemed like they were already ready to go. They just needed to finalize and actually implement it. Pretty sure I saved at least. 4:12. I don't want to go too long. I want to stop at least before 4:30, but probably a little before that. So we'll aim to get out of Drumlin. Maybe get to that house where the random encounters always occur nearby. You probably know what I'm talking about.
Thanks for helping us out with Trudy. You did good.
Now, if I can just get Piper to not attack. See, this is something that I'm concerned with. If they do become more perceptive, would they start attacking things more often when you don't want them to? That's certainly a possibility. And I don't want that. You know, they already go off on their own far too much. The last thing we need is them going and attacking Deathclaws with a baton like Curie sometimes does on my game. You know, they're really not smart enough for that kind of thing, but at the same time, when a ghoul is right beside them, they should know well in advance. I guess it would have to be changed in a way where their AI is set to hug the player, stay as close as possible, but still be perceptive. Maybe be slightly less aggressive. but I don't know how it works, if that would be at the cost of
As you were.
maybe them not engaging if they are less aggressive. I'm not really sure how it works with the PS4 limitations. That's mainly that's the main hurdle when it comes to my ideas is, yeah, sure, it's probably doable, but is it going to alienate me from the experience? Because I'm on PS4, I know I got some ideas, but they're probably possible on PC and Xbox. I don't know if they're possible on PS4. And wouldn't that just be fucking ironic if my ideas come to light, but then I'm not even able to try it? Or if it becomes core content for IG and then I'm alienated from the experience completely, not able to update and shit like that. Some people would just say, get over it, you're on PS4, you chose this fate. And I get that. I get it. You know, but that's kind of 4chan talk more than anything, isn't it? Okay, well, I don't know where they are that they're seeing me. Oh, yeah. This fucker. And he's got friends over there, so I don't want to take chances. Well, whatever it is, Piper, you can ignore it. Wish it was a little snappier for the whistle set. The other thing, too, if you are on PS4 and you haven't got the whistle set, you should probably know that each whistle, I'm pretty sure, makes a different noise when you start it up. Piper's is, like, so subtle. Or it might even be silent, I'm not sure. But I have McCready's as well, I think, on this character. Because McCready was the first companion I found. And his is like this annoying drilling sound. Like some kind of whizzing toy noise or some shit that you have to deal with every time. Curie sounds like the noise that the computers make. That kind of beep sound when you're hacking. That one's not too bad. You know, kind of fitting for Curie. But I would just prefer if they were silent, man. And I have told Invoker Gray that. He never responded. I also asked if it would be possible to put all the whistles into a singular file to incorporate DLCs, because he made a separate one for Ada and a separate one for Longfellow. And that's, for such a small thing, I just can't justify downloading it, you know. With the 100 limit, I'm so close to it. I'm at 96 or 95, and I've been on a deleting spree. Normally I'm hovering around 98, 99. Sometimes 100. I try to leave at least one space for any new mods that come up that are really cool. And I mean, I've partied with a lot of mods that I really love. People don't understand that about PS4. You know, it's not that we're not hurting for good mods. There's plenty of good mods made within the limitations, surprisingly. We're hurting for space, because so many modders just make a mod that does one thing, you know? I just got... Oh, fuck me. I just got Dr. Drumlin, which adds a doctor to Drumlin. I actually didn't even think to show that off when I was there, but maybe you saw her doing all my deaths. But, you know, that's a mod that does one very small, isolated thing, and if it wasn't for the fact that it adds a doctor to an area of the game that needs it, I would never have downloaded it. You know, but if that mod was to update to maybe expand Drumlin Diner further with more vendors or add other doctors to other parts of the game, that would be a great mod for PS4. Kind of the opposite of this save. This is a terrible save for PS4. But yeah, no, that mod limit is the biggest restriction, I would say, more so than the limitation of external assets. The 100 mod limit completely fucks the experience. You know, even IG, I wish that there was an all-in-one where you don't need the season pass patch. It's unfortunate that I have to say that about something like IG that I love so much, but even all the different patches and stuff, it's great to have options, but it fucking sucks to have the limit. Because every patch that you add is taken away from that limit. I was using the immersive hacking for a while there, but I got rid of it because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It doesn't do enough. Even the low-tech patch, the reason I got rid of that, I'm not using it, which it's recommended to use it with the hardcore patch, but there's no point for me. I don't like what it does for the most part, especially the power armor. I like the fact that it seems to make power armor have less defense. That's not something that I mind at all. That's actually a good thing, because power armor is too powerful. But it also slows you down significantly in it. and makes it that when you're crouching, you have increased speed compared to when you're walking, which makes no sense. I try to avoid crouching so that I don't have to see my hidden status, but everything about the base game as well as IG really promotes you to crouch as often as possible so that you know where enemies are, because you die in one hit. Why would you ever not crouch? There's no incentive to walk. Yeah, you move a little faster when you walk, but with the increased speed in general to IG, you don't need it. You know, on my character that's at the highest level in Nuka World, she's got all of the movement speed increases, and I move so quickly even when I'm crouched. So there's no reason to ever walk. I personally think crouching should maybe give a slight bonus to stealth, but I don't even like that because it allows you to see if you're being detected. That's enough of a bonus, that and the fact that it increases your accuracy. There's also the visual stealth factor. You're visibly lower, physically lower when you're crouching. That's already an incentive. It's already going to be a core part of gameplay because you're using the cover system, whether you're in third person or not. Or you're taking cover anyway if you're in third person, because there's no cover system. So I just don't see the reason for that. It's not an attack on IG specifically, because the base game doesn't. I don't think there's any mods that do what I'm describing, at least on PS4. So, you know, it's one of those things where
Hey, over here.
I can't fault IG directly for it, but I just wish it was something that would be seriously considered, maybe. Got a single med pack. I'm going to use that. I'm going to save. And I'm probably going to call the stream quits. Hopefully this was semi-entertaining, all my ranting. If I'm yapping too much, just leave a comment telling me that. You know, I could save my voice every now and again. Especially the last stream I did, I had to mute my mic because I'd end up in these coughing fits just from talking too much, you know. And I don't want you having to listen to all that shit, so if you'd prefer a quieter experience, more just focused on gameplay and all that, just leave a comment or whatever, whether it's here or on the Immersive Gameplay forum. I'm Ivy over there, not Jellofish. And I'm Jellofish on the Bethesda.net website as well. So, gonna call it quits, gonna save again just so I can save the time, I guess, that I've just wasted. Doesn't matter, I have a timescale mod set to 4. Okay, gonna end the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to the one person. Don't know who you are, can't see it. But I'll be doing plenty of streams in the future. And I'll try to mention it on the forums when I am. So if you're on the Immersive Gameplay forums, you can see that. Otherwise, just tune in whenever you get the chance. Take care. Bye.